Hey everybody, this is John Spalding with G1NBC Fire TV, network for fire fans. This is episode 1, so welcome. Just be a little bit patient with us today. We're just getting our tech set up for our first broadcast, and we are getting ready to get started. So hang in there, and we are going to start introducing you to the FireFan app and talking to you a little bit about what this program is going to be about very shortly. So just go ahead and hang tight for just a second.
I'm still waiting also, John, on the Facebook page.
Okay. That's all right. We're on YouTube and we're on USTREAM, so that'll be good. And we're recording, so we'll have it for later.
Okay. I'm still waiting for the slide from you.
Hey everyone, this is John Spalding with G1NBC Fire TV. I have Greg Spalding here, Rebecca Halfhill here, and I believe the one and only, or the only one, Jance is going to be here too tonight. We're trying to get him into the room now.
I hear a bell.
I hear a bell.
Hey, James.
John, I still can't see myself on the screen at all, so.
That's all right. We can see you just fine.
Okay, I don't have to see anybody then.
Yep, we can see you just fine.
Beautiful.
You are all good. Sorry, everybody. Like I said, this is G1NBC Fire TV. I know you can just see the screen in the background. I promise we are getting set up and ready to go. So thank you for being here. I'm just going to send out one more link. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get rolling. So, once again, thanks everyone for being here. I'm John Spalding with G1NBC Fire TV, a network for fire fans. You can see I have my Cleveland Browns towel here. And so, just to kind of let you guys know what we're going to be doing tonight, we're going to kind of let you know who is G1NBC Fire TV. It is all of us. So, if any of you that are watching, and any of you that are currently playing FireFan, and anyone that is out there watching that hasn't played FireFan yet, this network is designed with you in mind. So let me go ahead and make a couple introductions. I have Greg Spalding and Rebecca Halfhill. Greg, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself first and say hi to everybody.
My name's Greg Spalding. I am John and Rebecca's uncle, and my son Jance is on here also, and I'm the culprit that got these people all involved in this fantastic app.
Lean back a little bit just to make sure that you're centered and we can see your. There you go. Good, looking good. So how'd you get involved with FireFan?
I got into network marketing in the beginning of 2016, and one of my fellow network marketers sent me an email one day. I opened it up and read it and was very impressed with it. Mm-hmm. And I've been involved since the 1st of June, working towards this, looking for a lot of good things.
Cool. Good thing. Great. And Rebecca Halfhill, you're the culprit that got me involved. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you and kind of what you're looking forward to for the app and what interests you?
So, as Uncle Greg said, he got me started in this, and what piqued my interest was possible business opportunity. Make a little bit of income on the side and have fun doing so. And I know nothing of sports. I know a little bit, but not enough. Never played any fantasy type sports. And this was a way for me to connect with my friends and family on a sports level.
Okay. Probably the perfect candidate to learn the game and figure out how to talk with people through the game, and also not necessarily have to be a sports fan, but you can still play along with your family and your friends. So great. I'm going to go ahead and just bring up a couple slides here. So we have kind of the four affiliates, the four independent FireFan affiliates. Greg Spalding, and the league codes are up there. The league code just means that you can put that code in and get tokens when you sign up to play FireFan. Myself, John Spalding, my league code is G1NBC Fire. Greg's is 123 Heat. Tony's is Want to Play. The name of his league is Butt Shack Barbecue. But his league code is Want to Play. My sister's league code, because she doesn't know how to spell, is WINING. It was supposed to be winning, but she spelled it wrong, and she hit enter, and it's stuck at WINING. So for those of you out there that can remember that is what you hit to join Rebecca's league and be a part of her network.
And John, Tony's is Want to Play 33.
Ah, terrible. Okay.
And for the record, winning with 2 N's was taken.
Well, of course it was. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So, Uncle Greg, I have up slide 3 or slide 4. What that has is it has 3 pictures. It has installing the app, creating your account, and then joining and playing. So why don't you go ahead and kick us off with a little bit of an introduction about that?
Okay. First of all, and for everybody out there that's new, and FireFan, the app itself, started in development way back in May. And what is FireFan exactly? FireFan is a sports app. It's an interactive sports app for fun, which means you can watch a sports event on TV and interactively play this game with it. Right now, we've started off with NFL football, and believe me, all the other sports are coming. Do you have I can't see on the screen, John, do you have the slides up?
Yep.
Okay. So the first slide you'll see a search for FireFan and install app. Of course, you have to install the app to play the game. So you either can go to the App Store or to Google Play, and that's where you're download and install the app. Once you get in the app, it is going to ask you for your name, email. If I'm looking at this slide right, you're going to put that information in. Then you're going to come to a screen that's going to have a reward code in there. And that reward code is going to serve 2 purposes. It's going to designate you to the person who invited you. It's also going to get you quite a few more tokens. You're going to get 18 tokens. You sign up for that. You'll also can be invited a few other different ways. You might see an invite, come join my league. It basically works the same way. You're gonna join the league, and it's going to take you back to that original screen where you're going to put your name, your email, your phone number, and of course you're going to download the app. Third way you're going to get invited possibly is come join my game. This weekend, all the playoff games, we might have just sent an invite out to join the game, which also is going to be basically the same thing. You're going to join the game. It's going to take you back to the first screen. You're going to put all your information in, and if you haven't registered already, you will download the app. And that's one thing I want to say also, John. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of registered players that we spent 6 months registering for. If you're a registered player, you already have your email and you should know your password. In that case, on the bottom, instead of logging in, you're going to sign on. And in that case, you're going to put your email and your password that you've made, and that's going to take you right to the app. You still have to download the app. And that's basically how you get in.
All right, cool. I'm going to take over the next slide and just do a little bit of discussion around gameplay. So gameplay is really just you go into the app once you have gone in and put in your rewards code and created your account, um, and you just join the game. So for example, you'll see with the picture on the left, you'll see a series of games either in your league or any active game on the network or on the app, and then you'll make your pregame picks. You see in there's a little green bar. The next slide has it shown a little bit better, but you make your pregame picks before every game. Usually those open up about a day or two in advance. So you go in there, you can make your pregame picks, and then you can check the leaderboard and see who else is playing in the game. And you get correct points for each pick that you make. Then you can see where this is a little bit better picture of the green bar. You see over here, this green bar. This will show up on almost every drive during the game. And you have to make your picks, and you challenge the people that are also playing in that game to see who is going to get most points at the end. Then you can see on the next one over, this is just an example question. How many receiving yards will Cleveland running backs total? They usually don't total a lot. I usually guess somewhere between 50 and 100. I usually get all the points that are required for that. And every drive, or almost every drive, like I said, during the game, and you can do this for as many drives as you'd like to play. Some people miss drives, and that's okay. The point is to play, connect with your friends and family, and have fun. You hit that button, it'll show you your progress in the picks you made, and show your point tallies as you go. And then you can see on the third slide, it gives you kind of a running total throughout the game on kind of where you stand. Of course, I picked the picture that showed me at the top of the leaderboard. I don't really have many of those pictures, so I had to get it in this presentation while I had time. Uncle Greg or Rebecca, any comments on kind of gameplay tips or tricks that you've experienced so
far? Not for me. I just pick.
I try to stay away from my son's answers. And I'll go the opposite way.
So if he's going somewhere, you will pick opposite. Have you ever learned anything throughout the game and changed your picks up? Have you ever made any halftime adjustments?
Absolutely. But one thing that I can probably tell people to shy away from, you'll see questions all the time. They call it a long shot. And I'm known for taking a long shot on 3/4 of the drives.
Yeah.
Some of them are very long shots. And of course, the points will show it.
Hey, but every now and again, we hit it.
Absolutely, we do hit. And I do want to mention that John also, during this game here, as well as a great form of entertainment and playing with your friends and family and having a good time, you are building up what we call lifetime achievement award points. And down the road, this is still a very brand new app, but it's coming very soon. These lifetime achievement points will earn you. You can redeem them for gifts such as sports apparel, gift cards to restaurants, electronics, even possible automobiles if you play enough.
Hey.
So a lot of good things coming with the app.
That's pretty cool. One thing that I like about it is the number of leagues that you can create. So and players can create leagues. If you want to create a league for your family, if you want to create a league for a bar that you frequent, if you want to create a league for your softball team or for your friends, you can do that. And you can invite other people to play. You can set the amount of people that are in your league and playing your games. And it really can turn into something where if your brother lives on the other end of the country or is traveling overseas, then you guys can watch the game and play on the app at the same time. You can chat back and forth, and you can also be competitive and have fun while you're doing it. So that's what I really like about that.
Absolutely.
I think the other thing that would be cool to mention is that there are a lot of MVPs already that are in the league. Like Andre Reed is pretty active. He's always giving away like autographed football and stuff like that. And Brian Urlacher is pretty active in there. There's
Yes.
a lot of people that have accounts that are playing games and inviting people. The other cool thing is, and I'd like to get to this point with our network, and that would be to build our network up to where we're able to host nonprofit games and use this app as fundraisers for schools and little leagues and sports teams and really creating an environment where people can come in and have an experience where they can play with their friends and family, but also use that as a possible tool to do fundraising for your nonprofit or civic organization.
Absolutely.
So let's see. So we have a little bit of a contest coming up for the playoffs and for the big games. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that? I'm showing a slide now that it shows up the 3 leagues that are involved. We have the G1NBC Fire League, 1, 2, 3 Heat, which is yours, Uncle Greg, and Want to Play 33, and which is the one for Butt Shack Barbecue.
That's correct.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? So you guys can see the icons for the leagues.
Right.
And
Okay.
so I'll go ahead and bring up the chart for the games, and I only included the game chart, Greg, for this week's games, and next week we'll do games for next week.
That's good. Yeah, we got together, and what we want to do, we wanted to do something special to kick off FireFan and the NFL playoff tournament. So myself, John David, and Tony Vaccaro from Butt Shack Barbecue Shack, we decided to do, we're throwing in some tokens. We're having a large token giveaway, if you will. This will be a random drawing that we will do halftime of the Super Bowl. First ticket out, that's important. First ticket out will get 100 tokens. The second ticket we draw out will receive 200 tokens. And just tonight, after talking with John, we've also just decided to add a third drawing to that, which the third ticket out, we're having what we're called a performance drawing. And I'll get to that one and how you qualify in just a minute. How you're going to qualify for these drawings is simple. You play in the game itself. And there are 11 games, including the Super Bowl, in this playoff. Any game you play in, you receive an entry. Now, if you go out and bring one of your friend or family members into FireFan to play with you, every friend or family member that you bring in, you're going to receive another entry, and that goes for every game. For example, you bring one friend in, you both play the first playoff game. The person you brought in receives an entry. The person who did the inviting, he gets 2. You play the second game, same. It repeats itself, and that goes throughout the whole playoff. Hopefully, everybody will bring in 50 players, and we'll have about 1,000 entries in, which would be very nice.
Oh, heck yeah, it will be.
And that's the rules for this, though, to qualify. Not only playing the game, and we want you to share and bring people in to be a part of this drawing. There's just a few qualifications. You must be a registered player of only our 3 leagues, which is the Butt Shack Barbecue, Greg Spalding's All Stars, and G1NBC Fire. You can only be a registered player
of one of those
leagues. Now, that's meaning if you're involved in another league in FireFan, and you want to come in and play, you're more than welcome, because we love to have the large crowds to play. But only registered players of our 3 leagues are going to be entitled to the token drawing itself. Second qualification is you must play in a game to receive an entry. Other than that, you're good to go.
All right, and tell them again when the drawing will be after all the games.
Super Bowl, halftime Super Bowl.
All right,
and
cool.
I believe we're going to have a live broadcast of the drawing too. Correct, John?
That is correct. We will have a live broadcast similar to this that will come up just as soon as halftime starts. I don't even know who the halftime act is this year. If anyone knows, that would be helpful so we can know who we're going to be cutting off and not listening to while we're streaming live with our drawing.
Also, I won't be able to come back to Cleveland with you, but there are plans in the making right now that myself and Tony are planning to be somewhere for the Super Bowl itself. So hopefully we're going to be a nice, exciting bar with a lot of people playing FireFan for the Super Bowl.
Cool. Well, we have the only one Jance is here now, and I'm showing up a slide of the games, Uncle Greg. So if you wanna, if you might want to go through the games, and then let's have Jance for each game. Why don't you maybe give? I don't know if you're ready for this or not, but maybe give a hot take from either team on either side.
I think I could do that.
I knew my son is here.
I knew you could.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay. First game, Saturday. Now, excuse me, but I do not have the times listed on here. Maybe if Jansen got it from him, he can help me out. But the first game is this Saturday, January 7th, and it's going to be hosted by Tony's Butt Check. And it is Houston versus Oakland. Second game will be hosted by myself in Greg's All-Star League. And that's going to be Seattle.
Hold on 1 second. Let's get Houston versus Oakland, Jance. What's your take on that game?
I just hope a lot of people won't fall asleep during that game. A lot of quarterbacks out. In fact, it's going to be Connor Cook's first start, and he's the only quarterback ever to start a professional playoff game without starting any game in the regular season.
Connor Cook's going to come into his own, and it's going to be remarkable.
Just take Raider Nation by storm. But it's a battle of preseason. Both defenses were thought to be premier defenses. Oakland hasn't been as such, but Houston has. You're going to see a lot of Lamar Miller in this game since Osweiler and Savage are out. Houston doesn't really have anybody that can throw the ball. You're going to see a lot of Lamar Miller on the Houston side, and on the Oakland side, you're going to see whatever they can. They don't have anybody that can pass it to their two wide receivers.
Do you feel bad for their situation with Carr going out and all that crazy stuff?
Oh, I think they're one of the biggest up and coming teams in the NFL, so it's really unfortunate about that.
All right, Greg.
You will see a lot of questions. You will see a lot of questions, though, for Lamar Miller, more than likely. Keep that in mind with my son's advice there. I can guarantee one of the pregame picks probably will be how many total yards will Lamar Miller have?
Over 150.
We'll see.
And Greg, make sure you're leaning back. Your mouth's cutting off. Your beautiful chin is cutting off.
I'm going to hold it up.
That mustache.
Hey. Second game, Saturday night. Detroit has to travel to Seattle. Take it away, son.
It's Detroit, Seattle?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't have anything in front of me right now.
You're winging this?
I'm winging it right now. Seattle's kind of been funny this year, but I think they're coming in their own. Russell Wilson's finally healthy. He's going to be able to expose the Detroit defense, which, if I remember correctly, is 30th against the pass this year. So you're going to see a lot of Doug Baldwin, I think, this weekend, and you're going to see a lot of Jimmy Graham. Detroit is awful against tight ends. So look for Doug Baldwin, look for Jimmy Graham. And then on the Detroit side, if there's one thing that you could expose on Seattle, it's the number 2 cornerback. So I think you're going to see a lot of Marvin Jones Jr. on the Detroit side this week.
So that is Detroit's chance. I'm only going with personal feelings, and that is that I have a lot of friends in Toledo and a couple other friends that really like the Lions. So I'm going to pull for them because, Seattle, they've been there and done that. Let's go Lions.
Expecting a lot of chat.
Rebecca.
A lot of chat this weekend. Folks.
Rebecca, we haven't heard from you. Who's going to win Seattle versus Detroit? I know you have been following these two teams closely. You look at the stats every day. You're checking it out. You have them. You have Russell Wilson on your fantasy team. What's your pick?
I say Seattle.
How come?
Because you can't cheer for Detroit.
Yeah. It's a name preference.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to take this one, Uncle Greg. Game 3 is Pittsburgh versus Miami. I really hate that I have to host the Schittsburg Steelers during my first playoff game for Fire fans. So I definitely will be rooting for Miami, even though I think that they shouldn't have made it in. But Chance, let's hear your take on that. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more qualified than mine.
This is painful to give this take, but I mean it's going to be an absolute slaughter. Miami, same situation as Oakland and Houston right now. They have no quarterback, so with Tannehill's been ruled out already. So having a quarterback come in that hasn't grown with that offense this season, it's going to really hurt, especially against a proven Pittsburgh Steelers defense. It's been shaky at times this year, but it's still they've retained 8 players from their defense last year. So. On the other side, you can really get Miami in both areas of the field. You can get them running and you can get them throwing. And unfortunately, those squealers have 2 of the best in the game with Brown and Bell. So you're going to see a lot of offense on that side.
And speaking of Brown and Bell, Pittsburgh decided to sit their starting quarterback Brown and Bell for the last game in Cleveland so they can rest. Basically challenging the Browns to step up and try to get a victory, which they almost did until they didn't.
Thank you, Browns.
Thank you, Browns.
Number 1 draft pick. Thank you very much.
All right, and last but not least, we have Game 4. Why don't you do that last one, Uncle Greg, and then we'll...
Yeah, this is Tony Vaccaro's favorite game only because he is a true Bears fan, and I know he loves the Packers, and this is why I give it to him and give it to his league. You'll be able to go to Tony's Butt Shack League to pick up the Green Bay Packers versus the New York Giants game.
All right, and my friend Ryan Lavacek, who I think is watching right now, is actually a huge Packers fan. So maybe this could be the first game that Ryan plays in. Hopefully he plays in mine the afternoon earlier, but maybe you can play in this one, Ryan, and see if you can win. Jance, what's your take on the game?
I think Packers are that team. Ryan might be able to vouch for this. At the beginning of the year, a lot of question marks. At one point, they were 4-6 and 3rd in the division, but they're one of the teams right now, along with Pittsburgh, along with New England, that are rolling on every cylinder. Their defense has drastically improved the past 5 weeks. Their offense, Aaron Rodgers and his coach were fighting. They hated each other. They were going to break up, and now that's all done. He's been the Aaron Rodgers of old. Jordy Nelson, he looks fantastic. They have a couple question marks at running back with Ty Montgomery. Is he the running back? Is he a wide receiver? What are they going to do? But regardless, they have too many offensive weapons for New York to keep up with. I think Odell Beckham's too emotional right now, and Eli. He's been one of the more consistent quarterbacks of this generation, and unfortunately this year he's shown a little not too much poise.
How did the Giants do it? Because they were struggling in mid-season, and then they really kind of snuck in. How'd they do it? Was it D?
I think they were able to expose a lot of people. They were people in the division. Washington, they got a couple big wins on there, and then they were 2-0 against Dallas this year too. So that was interesting that they were able to do that. But their defense stood up even without Pierre-Paul. But a lot of it was also due to just Odell Beckham being Odell Beckham some weeks. He single-handedly won 3 games for him this year, which from a wide receiver perspective is pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, Rebecca, what's your take on Green Bay Giants or Pittsburgh Miami?
I'm going to have to go to Jan there. Everything Jan said, 100% spot on.
Wow.
Great.
Well,
verified.
You have your first super fan.
Hey, John, are you able to see my phone here? Like I said, I can't
If you back it up a little bit.
You got to back up, man. There we go.
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay. For your fan players out there, just a little tip for you here so you know here. If you go to this screen right here at the bottom, you'll hit this little yellow icon. Hit that here. And you're going to see that's going to be brought up. If you go over here and you hit games, what's that's going to bring up? That is going to bring up 4 games this weekend. So now if I go over here and I hit the Oakland Raiders, Houston Texan games, this screen comes up. As you can see here, that's every league that's hosting a game. And what you want to look for is one of the 3 leagues. Like we said, Hut Shack Barbecue, Greg's All-Stars, Greg Spalding's All-Stars, G1NBC. And it works out, as you can see up here, this game, it says Hut Shack Barbecue.
And
So
mine
you
says
easily
Steelers
be able
Dolphins.
to tell what games are ours. I hope that helps out a little bit.
I think so. And then, just so everybody knows, that button here, that's your main navigation for the app. This little button
Absolutely.
down at the bottom. So you put that up, and you can see, your invites. You can see trophies. You can invite others and connect, play, and you can go to your home screen. So if you're ever confused, hit this button, and it'll take you in the app back to where you need to go.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So how do we close? How do you want to close, Uncle Greg? I'm going to go ahead and bring up the just the leagues one more time. So remember, we have 3 leagues, 1 contest. So go ahead and download the FireFan app. I will put the link to this PowerPoint in the description of the YouTube video and in the 2 groups where this is being broadcast. So you can get those links, and you can message any of us on Facebook or put stuff in the G1NBC Fire Facebook group. And we will get you all situated for the playoffs so you can play with us, have some fun on FireFan, and win some tokens.
Yeah, and I want to say, Christmas vacation, I went and saw my daughter down in North Carolina, and my brother-in-law, named Butch, happens to live down there. I just want to say, I tried to get him into this app for 4 months. He's not really a sports fan. He even texted me, I'm not a sports fan. I don't watch the games. I like NASCAR, but this, I don't want to do it. When I was down there, he did just mention it to me, but he didn't really know what it was. I showed him the app. He downloaded the app. He could not get enough of FireFan that weekend I was down there. Absolutely loved it. He actually got his wife to play. He got his nephew to play, and his nephew got friends to play. So come and join us, folks. It's a free to download, free to play. You're going to get tokens to play. Families, if you got a group going on, it's great. It's great. You have a great time.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. Rebecca?
Yeah, just play it, have fun, and
Oh, I tell you, that's a hot take. So Rebecca forgot about tonight's broadcast, so she came in at 10:59, 9:59, kind of like a regular news anchor. Comes right out of the dressing room with her hair done, like ready, like a diva, and says, "Oh, I just remembered." So that's where the hot takes come from. Good job, Rebecca. Next week, homework. You got homework to do. And Jance, thank you so much for being here. So you're a player and a sports enthusiast, as we could tell by your takes. I appreciate you coming in and doing that portion of the show. Thank you. I hope that you will do that again. What's been your experience so far? What's been your experience so far, kind of playing on the app and just being involved with the FireFan community?
It's a blast. For the outlook of a player, I don't get to get the enjoyment of the marketing side of it, but I get to see how exciting it truly is to actually play it. The best feature, I think, is the chat feature, to be able to talk within that to everybody else and, kind of jab at everybody and really show your confidence and the swagger, if you will. So it's a real fun aspect of the game. It's something where it's a lot different from other sports fantasy apps where, you get this intrinsic value of it. This is something where you get everybody involved and you get a real community feeling out of it. So it's going to be big, and I suggest everybody play.
And John, I'm sorry, one last thing. I want to remind everybody, we are in the beginning stages of this app, and there is so much more to come. And the more you play, the more you're going to see. There is just so much more to come. We've only scratched the surface with this app.
Well, that's exactly right. Basketball's coming next, and so it's just, this is the first season, halfway through, of the first sport on the app. So this isn't just a football app. This is a sports app. I'm going to go ahead and close out one thing, too. I just want to bring my screen back up so you can see the G1NBC Fire League. And Jance kind of gave me the idea to go through this so you guys can see it. You hit play for the Steelers-Dolphins game. And just a little bit of the screen when you're in there. It has the play. I'm getting it in there so you can see it. Play, chat, leaders, picks, and moments. So moments, it shares kind of the highlights of the game so far. Play is your main screen. That's where you get the green banner that tells you to make your picks. Chat is what Jance was talking about, where you can chat back and forth with other players in that game. So you can, trash talk back and forth, bullshit with each other, and it's fun. Leaders shows the leaderboard, who's winning currently, and it adjusts regularly after each drive or after each series of picks. The picks tab, if you click on that, that just shows you your in-game progress. How many you got right, how many you got wrong, kind of what you're doing. So if you are a nerd like me and you want to go back and figure out what went right, what went wrong, you can look at picks and study them and figure out what you're going to do differently for the next time. So with that, I think we're all set. I want to thank Rebecca, Greg, and Jance for both being here tonight. And this is G1NBC Fire TV. You can find us on Facebook, G1NBC Fire. You can find us on Google with a couple of the posts that I've written so far about the network. So you get involved. If you download the app and you look at it and you think it's fun, just go ahead and join the league. The league's public, and we're going to be broadcasting here at least through the Super Bowl, giving you some takes on the games and talking to you a little bit about gameplay. I don't know if we'll go as long as we did tonight, but we had a lot to cover in our welcome episode. So thank you, everybody, for being here. This is G1NBC Fire TV, a sports broadcast and interactive show for our Fire fans, and we will see you next week.
Come play.
Come play.
Night.